Hello, everyone. You're welcome to my channel, and I'm happy to have you join me in today's presentation. And specifically, we'll be looking at how to answer and write the effective language question in IGCSE. How to answer and write the effective language question in IGCSE. That's talking about IGCSE First Language, English is first language. So that's what we'll be looking at today. And I believe that by the time this presentation is done, you will have acquired or attained that necessary proficiency as far as this aspect of answering how writers achieve effect is what is concerned. So we will go straight to proceedings, and please, I would like you to participate in this entire presentation because it will do you a whole lot of good. So I'm starting with the first one. Now, you need to recognize the fact that there are some things you need to put into consideration for you to be able to perform excellently well in this aspect of English. The first thing you must do is to read a question carefully, underlining key parts of the question. Very important. So normally paragraphs are usually given, two paragraphs are usually given. So you are to identify these expressions, those words, so those phrases, and not just identifying them. You must be able to, know where those phrases are used with a view to answering them correctly. So the first thing you must do is to read a question carefully, and not just reading carefully, underlining key parts of what of the question. The second thing you will have to do for you to, you know, do very well in this aspect of English is to highlight or annotate the interesting words or phrases you could analyze. So what we're saying is that you cannot analyze all the phrases or all the words. So what you need to do is to analyze specific phrases of specific words. So you annotate them and or highlight them. So by the time you do this, that will give you, you know, something to do, and that will give you an idea of what to expect in that aspect. We go straight to the third thing, and that is you must write a brief overview that explains the intent effect of the language used by the writer. Write a brief overview that explains the intended effect of the language used by the writer. So you must write a brief overview, just a brief overview, let's say a three-line overview of the entire situation or the entire scenario. So it's very important. The overview gives us an idea of the atmosphere that is being presented in your presentation. Please note that it's very important. Number four, use a quote and comment method, ensuring you analyze the language to the same standard you will do in literature examinations. So it's very important. So this aspect of English, how writers achieve effect, is similar to the literature examination. So what you need to do here is what you tell us about the language being used by the writers is very important because in literature we have language and structure, but in this aspect of English, we are only concerned with language. So the language is very important. So you must, in a way, explain this in a way that will, tell the examiner that you actually know what you're doing. The next thing you need to do is to select 3 to 4 words or phrases in each paragraph. You could have a minimum of 7 words or phrases analyzed in total. So that means if you are choosing 4 in the first paragraph, that means you're going to choose 4 in the second paragraph. That should be 8 in all, or 3 in both to make it, or 4 3. It depends on your expectation. It depends on what you want to do. But what we're saying here is what a minimum of 7 words or phrases will do. So, and what does that mean? It goes beyond just identifying those phrases. You must be able to tell us the meanings of those words or phrases and how the language affect readers. I think it's very important at this point in time. We go straight to the next one. which is very important. Make sure you proofread your response. It's very important. You proofread your response. That would be necessary at this point in time, because if you don't proofread your response, you may not, identify or edit, all the errors you must have made in the course of of answering this question. So make sure you edit your work before submitting. Very important. And besides that, I think we should look at this questions. We should look at these questions. Important questions to keep in mind before attempting questions and writer's effect. So these questions are important because they will help you to, answer this aspect of English quite well, and to show to the examiner that you actually, know what you're doing as far as this aspect of English is concerned. So what's the first question we must ask? One, the first question you must ask yourself is, what is the question asking? What is this particular question answering? It's very important, because if you don't know what the question is answering, you may not be able to answer it correctly. Number two, how is the given extract related to the question? So the paragraph, the given paragraph, how is it related to the question? Is it related to the question, or is it not related to the question? Certainly, it must be related to the question. So that will give you an idea of how to go about answering the question. Number three, which phrases are related to the question? Which phrases, expressions, of words are related to the question? So it goes beyond just identifying those phrases or words, but how relevant are they to the question that is being asked? Number four, why does the author use those phrases? Why does the author use those phrases? So there is always a reason behind, writer's effect. Writers don't just write out of vacuum; they write based on their experiences. So you must be able to answer the question: why does the author use those phrases? It's very important. The next question: how and why is the author trying to create effect using these phrases? How and why? There must be the how and the why. That is, why is this author trying to create effect using these phrases? And why is he trying to do that? The how and the why, very important. So by the time you answered all these questions, I think all the questions will have been able to what, to put you in the right state towards answering the question that is required. And I want to leave you on this note by saying that you should take your time in this aspect of English. One thing you must know is that writers don't just use language, they use language to create effect. And each effect has impact on the reader. So please note that. Give your overview. Then after giving the overview, choose between 4 or 5 words or phrases in each paragraph, because there will be 2 paragraphs in all. So choose between 4 and 5 phrases in what you want. And please make sure you tell us the meanings of those and the language, the effect they create on the reader. So at this point in time, I want to thank you all for watching this video, and I hope to see you in my next presentation, my next video. And please don't forget to click the subscribe button. See you some other time. Bye for now.